Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Phil and this is Grow Your Dough. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through some tools that I've built to help you rebalance your portfolio. Back in April 2021, I built 3 factor-based portfolios using Stockopedia's stock rank on the AJ Bell platform, on the Freetrade Basic platform, and on the Freetrade Plus platform. Well, we're 3 months on now, and so we want to look at the impact of quarterly rebalancing on these portfolios, and so that's the process I've been trying to undertake. I got somewhat sabotaged on the 3 months anniversary as I went to go through this process, and that really damaged or broke the video that I was hoping to make about that. I completed the rebalancing process, but what that did is it highlighted how tricky it was, and so hopefully that means that I've built some tools that are really going to help you in the rebalancing process, and that's what we're going to look at as we go through this video. So let's crack on with it. So to help you through the rebalancing process, I've created this spreadsheet, which is split into sort of 6 steps. First is to list your existing portfolio. Step 2 is to list new candidates from the screening process. 3 is to sell any stocks that have become stale. 4 is to rebalance any existing stocks, just tweaking how many of each you have. And then 5 is to buy the new candidates that have been suggested through the screening process. And then in the end, you finish up with a rebalanced portfolio. And on each stage, I've tried to create a set of instructions to help you guide you through this process. For the first step is to make a copy of this spreadsheet. So you go File, Make a Copy. So I'm going to call this Freetrade Stock Rank April 21 Rebalanced July 21. So this is my version of the spreadsheet now, and if you do that, you'll have this contained within your own area. So the first instruction is to make a copy of the spreadsheet. The second is to copy the tickers of your existing 20 stocks into column A. So here I'll paste the tickers in. There's a slight problem with this first one because it contains a dash, and what I'm going to do is just replace the dash with a dot. So just check the names all make sense with the stocks you own, and the prices are being retrieved. And then the next job to do is to fill in the number of shares you hold for each stock. So again, I'm going to cut and paste that. So this gives you the spreadsheet calculates the price, the number of shares, and works out the value for each stock. And it's just asking you to adjust the cash balance for the account. So if you've got any cash in the account, maybe that's come about as dividends, or you had some money left over at the beginning, then you need to adjust that value. And for me, that cash balance was £10.46. And this gives you an overall portfolio value. So this is where our portfolio stands on the particular day where we're doing the rebalancing. So the next step is to help the tool understand what the new candidates are, the new candidates from the screening process. And to help you do that, I've written another tool here called the Freetrade Stock Checker. So again, this is just a little simple spreadsheet that helps you work out if the stocks that you're looking to buy are listed on the Freetrade or Freetrade Plus platform. And it does that by doing a lookup in the list of stocks available on the Freetrade platform. Thanks to, I think it was Colonel Tut Tut who suggested this sort of idea. This was the problem that I ran into when I attempted to record the first rebalancing video. Unfortunately, some of the new candidates I selected I couldn't buy, and it completely sabotaged the process. So I'm hoping to show you this cleanly today about how to ensure that doesn't happen for you. Okay, so what the first thing it says is make a copy of this spreadsheet. As always, make a copy. I'm going to call this July 21 rebalance. Okay, so here I am with my copy. It says make a copy of this using the menus, and then it says to paste your screening data below. So I'm going to go to Stockopedia, browse to the top stock ranks, and I'm going to create a copy of this screen. You may already have this yourself, but I'll show you how to do it again. Top stock ranks excluding collective investments. Collective investments are businesses that build their own portfolios of stocks and sell them on, and I'm not interested in collective investments because that's what we're actually doing here. So now what I have is, sorry, all I've done is included the name in the title there. I now need to edit the rules to remove collective investments. So I go, I've got two rules at the moment: stock rank greater than 40, market cap greater than 10. I'm going to add the rule for an industry group. So I just type industry group, select industry group, add that rule. I can change this to excludes, and I'm going to start typing collective. And then you can see collective investments. So I add that rule, and that filters out all of the collective investments. I'm going to save that because it's going to be useful again in the future. And now I have a list of stock rank stocks going down from 100 down to 96 on the first page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that data to a clipboard. I go right over to the left hand side and I just paste the data. And so all of the data, you can see the stock ranks 100 down to 84. That should be more than enough to get 20 candidates. And I've got two columns here, and it works out whether this stock is available. For example, Royal Mail is available on Freetrade and Freetrade Plus. And then what it does on the next two sheets, it builds just a list of candidates. So it's easier for you to select this data afterwards. So this is the list of candidates that are available from that screening data on the Freetrade account. This is the list of candidates that are available on the Freetrade Plus. And so because I'm trying to rebalance the Freetrade account, what I do is I select 20 stocks, and I can tell there's 20 because as I highlight them, there's a little indication down here, count equals 20. So I'm just going to copy those, Control C, go back into my rebalancing tool and just paste the values in. Again, just double check that all of the tickers make sense and that the names make sense. And there's our new candidates. So it says perform a quick sanity check on the new stocks identified by skipping to step 5, buy new candidates, and check that your broker supports these new stocks. If a stock is not available through your broker, replace it in this list with the next candidate from the screening process. So let's go through that slowly. What it's saying is to go to step 5. So here is the list of the new stocks that have been identified. These are stocks that we haven't held before and will be buying as part of this process. So the best thing to do is simply to go onto your broker platform, go through the process of trying to buy one of these stocks. So let me show you what I mean. So here I am on the Freetrade platform, and I'm just going to quickly whip through these stocks to see if I can buy them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for RDW. Redrow. Yep, I can buy that. I'm also going to check that the share price doesn't massively exceed the sort of value that we're going to be looking to buy. So I know these figures aren't correct yet because we haven't gone through the rest of the processes, but I know that the target stock price is going to be around 50 to 55 pounds. If any of these stocks are over 50 to 55 pounds, then we're going to struggle to buy them. So you also need to check that. Luckily, all of these stocks are underneath the 50 to 55 pound mark. So I can buy Redrow. Let's check N91. N91, yeah, I can buy that. So just whip through them as I've done and double check them. I'm not going to bore you with that. Check the price. If there is a problem with one of these stocks, then what you need to do is come back to the candidate list, find the stock that's a problem, say it was 91, N91, then go back to your tool and just pick the next stock. In this case, it would be Investec, and you just replace N91 with Investec and just double check again. Okay, but let's assume that we can buy all of these stocks and we'll proceed. So step 3, we had 20 stocks in the portfolio. We screened the latest stock rank screens and we identified that these stocks are now redundant because there's better, fresher stock rank stocks than the ones we currently own. So we're going to sell all of these shares in these stocks. So we're being told to sell 33 of BT, sell 1 of Bellway, etc., etc. And as you go through the selling process with your broker, then at the moment this is an estimated value of what 33 shares of BT is worth. But actually when you go to sell them, it could be higher or lower. So what you need to do is as you sell each stock, you need to put the actual value of the sale. So let's say it was £60.80 rather than £60.74. And then we just go down, just put in the data in, maybe 41.20. Maybe we got 68.5 for that. Maybe we got 45.2. Maybe we actually got the price that was quoted. 41.6, 47.5. Okay, so now we've got our proceeds of sales. So it says sell all of the shares in the stocks, in each of the stocks listed. As you sell the shares, enter the prices in column H. So now we've got some cash available to us, and we're going to use that to work out how to rebalance and how to buy new stocks. So now we're on to step 4, rebalance existing stocks. So at first this appears overwhelming. What this is doing is we had 20 stocks before, and in the previous step we sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We sold 8 stocks, so we should have 12 stocks left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we've got 12 stocks left. And what's happened over the process of the 3 months since we bought these stocks is some will have grown quite a lot, and some might have stayed the same, and some might have shrunk in value. And what we're trying to do is ensure that when we finish this whole rebalancing exercise as best as possible, each stock, so for example Crest, is worth 1/20th of the overall portfolio value. So that might mean that we might need to buy a couple of shares if a stock has not been performing, and we might need to sell some shares if a stock has performed well. And this spreadsheet is trying to help you do that. So the instructions say review the proposed number of shares to buy in column G. Compare the estimated value, including costs, in column K against the target spend per stock. So the spreadsheet has worked out that actually we've got about £53.54 per stock, and it's trying to suggest how to get Crest Nicholson to that sort of value is to buy 2 more shares to take it up to about 52.30. And as we go through each of the stocks, it's saying for Evraz, we're not going to take any action on Evraz, is what it's suggesting. Okay. So the problem with that is that actually, because the numbers don't divide completely equally, we've got effectively £642 to spend. But the rebalancing exercise is only giving us 564, so we can spend a little bit more money is what it's saying. So again, as we did in the initial allocation spreadsheet when we first bought it, we're going to need to try and tweak things a little bit to get them right. So what I'm suggesting is that you start with the selling process first. Let's worry about selling stocks first, and then we'll come on to the buying stocks. So we're looking for the stocks that are furthest away from our 53.54 target price. So as I look along here, straight away I can see that this one is only worth £27 because the stock itself costs £27. We currently hold 2 and it's worth £54. Well, I'm suggesting that actually let's not sell one stock in that. Let's just keep it as it is. It's slightly over the £53, but it's closer than £27. So I just change the 1 to a 2. And if ever you're not sure about anything and you want to go backwards, just press Control Z to undo it. So I can do Control Z, goes back to 1. But I'm going to keep 2 stocks in Pantheon International. The next one is this one, Johnson Matthey. Again, this is £30 a share We currently hold 2, and it's advising us to sell 1. If we took it up to 2, at the moment, £30 is £23 away from 53. If we take it up to 2, we're at £60, and that's only 7. So I'm more comfortable like that than the other way around. So again, that results in us not having to sell a share. What's the next one? The next one is this one, £41. Again, this is another expensive share, £20. At the moment, it's £53 minus 41. It's about £12 away. If I take it up to 3, it's £9 away. So again, I'm going to leave that like that. Again, no action required. So this next stock is this one, Grafton. What if I kept 5 of those stocks? Again, that pushes us up over. It's too expensive, so we'll go back to 4. Again, what if we kept this at 8? Again, that pushes us over budget. So that's about as close as we can get things at the moment. And what we're left with is we need to buy 2 shares of Crest, sell 1 of Forexpo, sell 1 of Grafton, buy 2 ITV, and sell 1 of Renew. So what you do now is you go through and sell the shares first before you buy the others, because the price might wander. And what you do here is you put in your actual transaction value. So I sell 1 share in Forexpo, and Forexpo is £4.39 a stock. And, maybe I get a little bit more. Maybe I get £4.45. And then I sell Grafton, and I need to sell 1 share in Grafton, and Grafton is £11.75. But actually, when I come to sell it, maybe I only get £11.70. And then I need to sell 1 share in Renew, £7.04, and maybe I get £7.06. So I sold those shares. Now I need to buy the other stocks back. So I need to buy 2 shares of Crest at £4.02. Maybe that cost me £8.10, including stamp duty. I need to buy 2 shares in ITV at £1.18. So that would normally be £2.36. Maybe I got it for £2.34. And there we are. I've done all of my rebalancing of the existing stocks. So now I can go on to the next stage, which is to buy the new stocks that have been identified in the screening process. And again, what this tries to do is it tries to calculate the number of shares for each stock given their share price, so that the cost after stamp duty is as close to our target funds per stock. So let's review the instructions. Review the proposed number of shares in column E. Compare the cost after stamp duty, column G, against the target spend per stock. Adjust the value in the proposed number of column shares until the cost after stamp duty is as close as possible to the target funds per stock. Start by adjusting the stocks that are furthest away from the target funds per stock value. And we've got some color highlighting here, so you can see the darker colors are the ones that are furthest away in price. Use Control Z to undo any changes that you're unhappy with. Okay, so let's look at that. And it says ensure the total estimated cost, doesn't exceed the adjusted cash balance. And these will highlight red if there's a problem there. And then once you're happy with the allocation figures, complete the buying process. But let's go through the adjusting process first, okay? So we're going to start with the one that's furthest away. So British American Tobacco is £27.44, and it's suggesting we buy 1. But if we buy 2, we're closer to the target funds per stock. Okay, so we'll adjust that and buy 2 of those. The next stock that's furthest away is TBC Bank Group, suggesting we buy 4. What happens if we buy 5? It takes us closer to the target funds per stock, and we're still within budget. We've got about £10 left to play with. The next candidate to adjust would be Ultra Electronics, but it's at £49 already, buying 2 stocks. And the stock costs £25 a shot, so there's no point adjusting that. Let's see what happens if we do. we break our budget and it turns red. So I'm going to do Control Z to undo that. Look at the next candidate. The next candidate is Redrow. It's suggesting that we buy 8 stocks for £50. So at the moment, Redrow is £3 under. And if we add a stock, it's about £3.5 over. We've still got £4 left to spend if we wanted to. So what we could do is look at adjusting the cheapest stocks. So for example, Atalina Mining or 91. So we could possibly push this up to 24. No, that's too expensive. That means this one won't work either. Too expensive. A better option maybe we could do. You get the idea that you can play around until you get something. There's no hard and fast rules, but you know, it's a playing around with the figures to try and get them close as possible. I'll settle with that. So when you're happy with the allocation figures, complete the buying process with your broker. Update the total price paid in column H for each purchase. And my recommendation for this would be, because again, you might not get the price quoted here. My recommendation would be is that you buy the most expensive stocks first. So I'd start with British American Tobacco, Ultra Electronics, Bunzl, and finish up with 91 and Atalina Mining. And the reason will be because if you have some extra funds left over, it's easier to adjust, buy an extra share, or not buy as many shares in a cheap company than it is in a more expensive company. It's more efficient use of your funds. So, let's go through and play around with that now. So it's saying I need to buy 2 British American Tobacco, and maybe that cost me £55.50, a bit more than I was expecting. You can see there's a total purchase price running up here. So the next stock to buy would be Bunzl. 2 Bunzl should cost me about £52.46. Maybe Bunzl is a bit more expensive today and actually cost us £54. Again, this is going up. Next stock, 24.49, Ultra Electronics. Let's buy 2 of those. Maybe that cost me £50.50. Next stock is plus 500. 4 plus 500 should cost us around 53.61. Maybe they cost us £54. What's next? TBC Bank. 5 stocks in TBC Bank should cost me around 57.61. Maybe it cost me £59. Next stock is Redrow. 9 stocks, £57. Maybe it cost me £58.50. The next one is Atalina Mining. 17 stocks should cost me £51.26. Maybe it cost me Maybe it cost me £52. So if I now come to sell 23 or buy 23 stocks in 91 at 22.29, it should cost me £53.03. But look what happens. Suddenly we're over budget. We won't have the funds in our account to do that. So what happens if I buy 22? That should be £50.72. Still too expensive. 21 should be 48.46. And I'm more able to accommodate any variations. So that's why I would suggest you leave the cheapest stocks till last, because you've got greater scope for adjusting the number of shares. If that had been British American Tobacco at the end, you would have had to just buy 1 of them, and you would have had £27 spare left over. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you make best use of your funds. So what we've done is we've entered our existing portfolio. We've listed our new candidates. We've sold the stale redundant stocks that no longer have the best stock rank. We've rebalanced our existing stocks, and we bought the new candidates. And what you end up with is a rebalanced portfolio with all of your new stocks and the existing stocks and your cash balance. So just a reminder that this was an example rebalancing exercise based on the annual stock rank Freetrade portfolio. It's not the actual rebalancing I did on the 12th of July. That was somewhat sabotaged by my mistake of not checking the stocks for the new candidates. I really hope the tools are useful to help you go through the process. I know it can be a little bit tricky to rebalance accurately. If there's any bugs or any issues with it, please just let me know and I'll do my best to fix it as quickly as possible. I hope the screening tool for the Freetrade platform is useful too and you find that helpful. I hope you found the video useful. If you have, please give me a like, subscribe. Any comments about what's happening for you or any things that you'd like to see covered would be really great and really helpful. Thanks for watching right to the end and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.